Technology evolves at a pace that constantly reshapes the world around us. But one of the biggest surprises for many people is how dramatically vehicles have changed because of it. When most people think about technological revolutions, they might imagine smartphones, computers, or artificial intelligence. But electric vehicles have quietly become one of the most transformative pieces of technology in our everyday lives. And no company has pushed those changes further or faster than Tesla. They haven't just swapped a gas engine for a battery pack. They've reinvented the very foundation of what a car is, how it operates, how it communicates, and even how we interact with it. But when a company moves this fast, inventing new ideas and replacing decades-old conventions, that transition can sometimes frustrate new owners. Things that used to be normal now might be unnecessary. Things you assume are harmful might actually be beneficial. And some habits you think are helping your car can actually be quietly damaging it. So today, we're going deep into the 21 most common mistakes that new Tesla owners make without realizing they're doing anything wrong. These mistakes happen across all models, all years, and all battery types. And most people learn these lessons only after months or even years of ownership. But knowing them from day one can save you money, save your battery health, reduce wear and tear, and make your Tesla ownership experience far smoother. So let's go through them in detail so you can avoid every single one. One of the biggest mistakes almost every new Tesla owner makes within the first week is charging the vehicle to 100% every single day. It sounds logical, right? When you go to the gas station, you fill your tank all the way. When you plug in your phone at night, it charges to 100%. So naturally, people assume that an electric car should always be kept fully charged. But this is one of the worst habits you can develop. Tesla batteries are huge, far larger than anything. In your phone or laptop hand, lithium-ion cells don't enjoy sitting at high states of charge for long periods. The healthiest range for an EV battery, and even for your smartphone battery, is roughly between 30% and 80%. When you constantly top your Tesla up to 100%, especially if you let it sit at that level for hours, you're adding stress to the battery chemistry. You won't see damage immediately, but over time it affects battery longevity. The car will still run fine, but the long-term degradation rate increases. Most Tesla owners eventually learn that for daily usage, you never need 100%. You rarely drive hundreds of miles in a single day, and even on busy days, you might only use 20 to 30% of your battery. So charging to 80% is more than enough for almost everyone. That extra 20% from 80 to 100 doesn't just put stress on the battery, it also charges significantly slower. On a road trip, those final percentages take the longest, making your travel time unnecessarily slower. Tesla's charging curve tapers heavily at higher states of charge. So that 80 to 100% window is the slowest part of the entire process. On the other hand, charging from a low percentage up to around 50% is the fastest part. If you're road tripping, the most efficient strategy is to charge just enough to reach your next stop rather than topping off to 100% at every location. There's one exception to this rule, and that's Tesla's LFP battery chemistry, which is used in some standard range models. Tesla explicitly recommends charging those to 100% regularly to keep the battery calibrated and healthy. If the car says it's okay, then it is okay. The system knows what battery you have and gives tailored advice. But for most Tesla batteries, the universal rule is simple. Save 100% charging for long trips, not daily driving. And if you do need to leave with a full charge for a road trip, it's best to schedule your charging so that the car reaches 100% right when you're ready to depart. Letting the car sit full isn't ideal. Another related mistake that new owners make is leaving their Tesla unplugged for long periods of time. Unlike a gas car, a Tesla is an always-on computer. Even when it appears to be off, it's powering software systems, maintaining optimal battery temperature, and occasionally running background processes. All of this uses energy slowly but continuously. Teslas also have a 12-volt system, just like traditional cars. And if the main high-voltage battery drops too low, the 12-volt battery can drain completely, leaving the car inaccessible. You could walk up to your Tesla after a long vacation and find that it won't unlock, charge, or wake up. This is why Tesla's famous phrase is true. A happy Tesla is a plugged-in Tesla. When you travel, plug it in with the charge limit set somewhere around 50 to 60%. That keeps the main battery healthy without constantly cycling to high levels. It also ensures the car has enough power for temperature management and system operations. If your parking location is safe, switching off Sentry Mode saves even more energy while you're away. Simply put, if the car will be sitting, plug it in. If you can't plug it in, check the app every few days to confirm everything is stable. Another incredibly common mistake is forgetting that your phone is your main key. Tesla's phone key system is extremely convenient. Just walk up and the door unlocks. When you get in, the car is instantly ready to drive. But this convenience also makes it easy to forget that if your phone dies, your key dies with it. If your battery hits zero, you're locked out. That's why every Tesla comes with a key card, and why Tesla strongly encourages keeping one in your wallet, purse, or bag. New owners often toss the key card in a drawer, never think about it again, and then get stranded when their phone runs out of battery at a mall, restaurant, or work. The best practice is simple. Keep a key card with you at all times. And if you have a partner or family member who might need access, set up a second phone as a backup key. It takes a few minutes through the Tesla app and saves enormous headaches later. Another mistake that almost every new passenger makes, and many new owners as well, is manually releasing the doors. Tesla's interior door release buttons look like standard door levers, but they're actually emergency mechanical releases designed only for situations where the car has no power. When used under normal conditions, the window doesn't drop slightly the way it's designed to, which can put pressure on the trim and weather seal. Tesla has improved these mechanisms in newer models, making the risk lower. But the official recommendation is still the same. Always use the electronic door release button, not the manual lever, unless it's an emergency. The powered button gently lowers the window first, protecting the seals and ensuring smooth operation. Meanwhile, the emergency release should only be used when absolutely necessary. Tesla hides the rear manual releases under a flap inside the door pocket so that passengers don't accidentally use them. But the front releases are visible and often mistaken for the normal release. As a Tesla owner, it's helpful to point out the correct button to passengers as soon as they get in. And it's equally important to know exactly where the manual releases are in case of a real emergency. Now, one mistake that catches new owners off guard is relying too much on Sentry Mode. Sentry Mode is an incredible feature that uses the car's cameras to monitor surroundings and record events. But it also uses a meaningful amount of battery when active. Some new owners leave Sentry Mode on constantly, even in safe environments like home garages or gated parking. This causes unnecessary battery drain, sometimes up to several miles per hour, depending on temperature and system activity. The key is knowing when to use Sentry Mode and when to disable it. If you're home and your location is secure, turn it off. If you're parking overnight in a safe area, there's no need to use it. You can customize your settings so Sentry Mode stays on only in specific locations and automatically turns off at home or work. Balancing convenience and battery efficiency is crucial for long-term satisfaction. Another mistake is letting the car sit in extreme temperatures without climate protection. Tesla batteries manage their own temperature, but the car still loses energy maintaining that stability. Many new owners leave their Tesla in direct sunlight for hours, with no cabin overheat protection active. The interior can climb above 150 degrees Fahrenheit, which the car then actively works to cool. This uses energy. On the opposite extreme, during winter, battery preconditioning is essential. Many new owners never preheat the battery before fast charging, which results in significantly slower charging speeds at superchargers. The car will precondition automatically when navigating to a supercharger, but only if you input the charger as a destination. If you don't, the battery won't warm up in time, and your charging session will be inefficient and slow. Knowing how temperature affects the battery and letting the car manage it properly can save huge amounts of time and energy. Another mistake new owners make is not using scheduled charging or off-peak charging strategies. Electricity prices vary throughout the day in many regions. Charging during off-peak hours, often late at night, can save a significant amount of money over the course of a year. Tesla's scheduled charging feature allows you to choose exactly when the charging begins or ends. Many new owners simply plug in and charge immediately, even if their electricity rate is higher during that time. By scheduling the charge, you also ensure the battery finishes charging closer to your departure time, keeping it within a healthy temperature window and avoiding unnecessary idle time at higher percentages. Another mistake is overusing the brake pedal. In a Tesla, regenerative braking is your best friend. It slows the car down while recapturing energy into the battery. The more you use it, the more efficient your driving becomes. Some new owners, especially those coming from gas cars, still use the brake pedal heavily, wasting potential energy that could have gone back into the battery. One-pedal driving takes a little getting used to, but once you master it, your range improves, your brake pads last longer, and your driving becomes smoother. Another common mistake is ignoring software updates. Tesla software updates often introduce major improvements, safety fixes, new features, and system optimizations. New owners sometimes avoid updates because they don't want to wait for installation or worry about changes to the interface. But skipping updates can cause bugs, outdated features, or even charging issues. Teslas are more like smartphones on wheels than traditional cars, so keeping them updated is essential to avoid overwhelming you. Here's the continuation toward the final stretch of the script. Many new owners also forget to check tire pressures regularly. Tesla tires experience significant pressure shifts with temperature changes. Low pressure reduces range, increases tire wear, and negatively affects safety. Checking monthly is ideal. Another mistake is using non-Tesla chargers incorrectly or without proper adapters. Some public chargers deliver different charging speeds or require specific steps to activate. Not following these steps or forcing a plug can damage either the charger or your vehicle's charge port. Some new Tesla owners also underestimate phantom drain. Features like cabin overheat protection, Sentry Mode, and frequent app checking all consume energy. Constantly refreshing the app wakes the car from sleep, increasing drain. It's better to check only when necessary. Another mistake is misunderstanding how autopilot works. Some new owners assume it's fully autonomous and misuse it, leading to dangerous situations. Tesla requires your hands on the wheel and your attention on the road at all times. Another common mistake is not calibrating cameras properly after delivery. Tesla needs around 20 to 30 miles of consistent lane driving to calibrate its autopilot cameras. Skipping this or driving erratically during calibration can delay the process. Some also forget to clean cameras and sensors, which affects navigation, autopilot, and parking accuracy. Another mistake is slamming the trunk or frunk shut. Teslas are designed for gentle closure. Using excessive force can damage alignment and weather seals. You should lower the trunk or frunk gently and press to latch instead of slamming. Some new owners also run HVAC settings incorrectly. Using the heater aggressively in winter can drain the battery faster. Tesla's seat heaters are far more efficient and provide excellent warmth with minimal energy. In summer, pre-cooling the cabin while the car is plugged in is also more efficient. Another big mistake is ignoring warnings to rotate tires. Teslas deliver instant torque, which wears tires faster than gas cars. Rotating them every 6,000 to 8,000 miles prolongs tire life significantly. Some new owners also wash their Tesla incorrectly, using automatic car washes that use hard brushes. Many of those brushes can scratch paint or damage trim. Hand washing or touch-free washes are best. Finally, one of the biggest mistakes is forgetting that a Tesla is a computer. Rebooting the car can solve many issues, from glitchy screens to Bluetooth problems. You can hold both scroll wheels to reboot while parked. New owners often panic at minor glitches instead of performing a simple reboot. These 21 common mistakes are easy to make, but they're also easy to avoid once you understand why they matter. With proper habits, your Tesla can perform at its best for many years, giving you better range, longer battery life, smoother experience, and fewer problems.